Hey everybody, welcome back to Pillars of Eternity with none other than Gloom, Eder, and Aloth. We're having a good time so far, although I did just learn after our very difficult time through the temple that we could have hired companions, additional companions, and we had seen that before in the inn, but I thought that those were just like temporary people. No, apparently you hire them, they become permanent members of your party, which is pretty awesome, and you can really build them out however you want, which is amazing. So I'm pretty excited about that. As well, I do realize now that I was being very cautious with using Aloth's spells, and we probably didn't even use them to his full potential, but it was okay. That's our first major combat area. Learning a lot, and it was fun while we were doing it. So let's head back into the inn. We do actually have something to do in here, if I'm not mistaken. We have, let's see. Oh, it's a task, right. Some of the farmers in Gilded Vale claim that Trumbull the miller is withholding grain. The hungry farmers are on edge, and it seems likely that the situation will escalate. So we need to resolve the feud. I've spoken to Trumbull the miller of Gilded Vale. He fears that his family will come under attack from a group of villagers who insist that he's charging them unjust prices for grain. He's asked me to speak with Sawyer, the leader of the group, and bring an end to the conflict. Sawyer is likely to be at the inn. So, we're gonna do that. Probably hire another companion, and see where that goes. Now, when we were in here originally, we did see these people, and I wonder if those are another kind of vision. Here's Sawyer. Okay, grain. Alright. Speak of the devil. Don't mind if I take that, do ya? Strong bright blade? Blight? Whoa, here it is. As you near, you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack, one item after another, careful deliberation undercut by shaking hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can into the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers his condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen, anyone heading out on high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of an island, and tries not to jump. What? I can't wait to get some actual explanations here. For Strom Brightblade, you see a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing out each part as he speaks about it and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place about 200 feet away. Carefully lines up his shot, explaining what he is doing as he does, and lets the arrow fly. It hits the target dead center, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walking toward the boys, talking about proper stance and how to most effectively hold a bow. A noise comes from the tree line near their practice venue, and he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, making its way through the forest behind them. He draws an arrow and lines up the shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hidden creature. Loosing the arrow, he wastes no time and quickly grabs another. The boys spin, watching the arrow fly into the forest, immediately lost among the trees. There is a sudden explosive movement in the undergrowth as a deer erupts from the tree line, running across the edge of the clearing. The boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot. They stop talking, seeing him holding the bow and leading the deer with the knocked arrow. They drop to the ground as he looses his last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind its shoulder, piercing heart and lungs, dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few seconds and then slowly turn to look at the man, newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. There's just these random, like, I wonder if these will ever come to mean anything more than just their past that we're seeing. If you're not a nail, I don't have business with you. Alright, Swainer.
Welcome.
Don't know who you are, don't much care. Keep walking. We're not here to chat with foreigners. Eloth narrows his eyes. Careful. Looks like they're cut from the same cloth as those rowdies who attacked me. Smells like it, too. That's right, because when we met Eloth, he was getting attacked by just random villagers. Just drunk people, I guess. Look, I saw you outside the mill. Pretty upset. What was that all about? Well, someone fancies themselves a meddler, eh? What's that about? It's about Trumbull thinking he's king of the town on account of still got the mill to his name. It's about him barely giving us anything for the wheat we bring him and then cutting our purses when we need to buy grain. It's about farmers going hungry while some bastard gets rich off their crops. That's what it's fucking about. Fucking about. Now shove off. What if I buy you all around? Will you be open to that? Ah, fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats and, might be I'll feel up to trading words. Okay. So. Maybe the server?
How do you do?
How do I actually give him damage reduction? Oh, that's actually pretty good. Let's go to the server or the bartender, see if we can actually buy some beers to give to him.
Hail, traveler.
Let's see. Can I see what? Oh, right here. I'd like to buy a round for the fine fellows over there. Fine fellows, you're having me on. Any more fighting and I'll have to ban Swainer from the inn entirely. Until then, it's 6 copper pieces for the lot. I mean, we could ask, but we'll give 6 pieces. Right then, here, 3 drinks for 3 fools. Just take care with them. They're a hot-tempered bunch.
Hail and well met.
Well, I bought the drinks. Hey, so you have. By the flame. Never thought he'd be so happy for a mug of the Blackhound's shit beer. God, that's good. All right, then. You've got my attention. What is it you've got to say that's worth a round of drinks? Interesting. Maybe you could just tell me more about what's going on here. It's like I said, the miller's in charge of the grain prices. He says they're fair, but I know for a fact that folks like Offra pay half what we do. Maybe we've been a bit rough with him, but what are we supposed to do? We can't keep paying. We're gonna starve, and do you think Trumbull's gonna be sorry about it when we do? Look, there's no sense in threatening the miller. You have him up against a wall. Maybe you could ask some of the other villagers for help. Yeah, you're right. Things go on like they are, and we're just gonna end up hanging from that tree out there. Tell Trumbull we'll leave him be. Alright, all it took is beers. Don't know what we'll do now with the crops failing. Haven't got another trade to speak of. Think Pasca needs a hand around the inn? I have no idea. But maybe? Alright, let's head upstairs. Carouser. Roaches scatter. Oh, great. It's super clean up here. That's fantastic. This is where we've been sleeping. Uh-oh, here we go. As you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of the man's soul. You see a man soar through the air, hitting a nearby wall with a nauseating crunch. He doesn't get up. His attacker, a burly, clean-cut warrior with a carnivorous grin, turns and shoves his fist into the stomach of another assailant, removing another from the impromptu brawl. The beer is a whirlwind, or the bar is a whirlwind of elbows, knees, fists, and feet with no end in sight. He is in his element. In the corner, 3 smaller men speak quietly, throwing malicious glances at the larger man in the center. He breaks a chair over a tattooed head, cackling. The trio position themselves in 3 parts of the room, and with a terse nod, they charge. Unfortunately for them, the man sees them coming. Something in his eyes burns brightly, and all 3 slump to the ground in an agony that's all in their minds. The burly man bows to a room of the unconscious and incapacitated before sauntering out, off-key whistle trailing behind him. And what about you, Shakes? As you feel a vibrant history, you see an emaciated boy in chains, black holes for eyes, staring sightlessly at a wall. A man in a dark coat walks in, a scroll and an oddly shaped quill in his hand. The boy glances at him expressionless, a corpse waiting for animation. The man clucks at him, disapproval clear in his tone. The boy stands, limbs hanging. The man takes the quill and begins to write on the boy's chest, copying sharp, angular symbols from the scroll. The child doesn't flinch as the quill digs into his skin, drawing blood as it goes. The wizard finishes with a flourish and barks some arcane command, setting the symbols to grow dully. The boy cries out, knees hitting the stone hard, his chest burning black and red. Finally, the glow disappears, leaving only hard black scars etched into his skin. He slumps sideways, twitching, eyes facing the back of his skull. The wizard grunts, kicking him on the leg on his way out. The boy lies on the floor until dawn, eyes still black like holes, the twitches growing into convulsive shakes. And Sila. They all have a different color on their name. I don't know if that means anything. Probably not. You see a long, empty road cutting through two large crop fields. The air is silent and the land seems too still for early afternoon. This woman walks slowly on the road, leading a horse, curiously looking around. She seems to sense something wrong, but is unable to discern what it is. She stops, sniffing at the air, her nose high. Her brow crinkles and she casts about, looking for something. The air is clear, no clouds. She sniffs again, still looking around, confusion clouding her face, mouthing a single word. Fire? She looks out across the fields, her confusion turning to fear. She holds her hand to block the sun from her eyes and scans the field again. Not finding what she's looking for, she jumps onto the horse's back, and fear quickly becoming panic. She kicks, sending the horse shooting down the path which bends around some trees to where the farmhouse should be. She pulls up short, horror now in residence on her face as she stares at the burned and charred mess that used to be her family's home. Tears well in her eyes as she kicks again, racing to the rubble. These bones are covered in tiny bite marks. Oh, this is the Black Hound. The Black Hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked as if waiting to hear a particular sound. Looks up when you approach and whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. Okay. Let's pet it. The dog's tail thumps happily against the floorboards. It's probably just happy to get some attention. I could use a good dog. I wonder if she'd come with us. Perks up, trots over to you and barks happily. Okay. Okay, so what does that mean? Now she's not there. Oh, we have her. We have a pet. The small dog has a glossy black coat and an affable disposition. She trots along at your heels, gazing up devotedly whenever you come to stop. Can she... Oh, yes. That's amazing. Does she go anywhere or do anything? Oh, that's so cool. I don't know why that's so cool, but it is. I bet you this takes us outside on the top level. Yep. All right. I hope she can't get hurt, though. I hope it's just, like, for show. The Deerwood Part 1. Okay, so this is, we found Part 2 earlier. So let's go ahead and grab this. I'll go through it so you can read if you want. And if we get some really interesting ones, we'll probably go through them in detail, but...
Can't move now.
Oh, can't move. That's fantastic. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. We could probably sell a bunch of our things to the innkeeper as well, and then just store a bunch. Hello? Light armor, a duelist's hat. Please leave me be. I'm full of sickness with what I've seen of this place and its people. "10 years of dawn. 10 years I tilled the vorless leaf. Eothas has not spoken to us since he appeared at St. Wedwin. Is this my punishment for keeping the faith a secret? As I pen these words, I know that I must continue to till the dye leaf. And yet each morning the sun rises in the eastern sky." I don't know that we want to do this just yet. Alright, so now what we're gonna go do is talk to the bartender.
Hail and well met.
So, let's see what you have for sale. Actually, what about porridge? Olaf looks at you and shakes his head quickly. It's like, no. It isn't by choice, I assure you. We used to serve some of the finest meals in Deerwood. We've had a damnable run of luck is all. It's been a bad season for crops and we're running low on supplies. I sent Tenfrith up north to stock up. Tenfrith's our cook, you see. An artist with a good roast, but it's been days since he was supposed to return. We haven't seen any sign of him. I've only just taken up over from the last owner myself. I don't know what I'll do if he doesn't turn up. Well, I could try and find him. Really? I'd be grateful if you did. He was traveling through the Valewood. It's probably nothing, a broken wheel maybe, but I do worry. You see him safely home, and I think everyone in the world would sing your praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. Alright, let's see what you have for sale. Nothing for me, thanks. Of course, running a little short on goods these days, but we ought to have more soon. Okay, so, first of all, let's go to our stash and get rid of all this stuff that we don't need. We're keeping those. We have a whole bunch of, like, ingredients, but I should probably keep these for, I imagine, crafting at some point. Hammer and chisel we'll keep, some lockpicks. I don't know if we need 2 torches, but it's not going to net us much anyways. Wolf hide we can definitely sell. 10 years of dawn. And then here's where we can recruit adventurers and the store. So let's just give her that for now. We actually have quite a bit of money. Fine Tenfrith. Next, let's do a little bit of just cleanup here. Anything we want to sell or just store, we'll put in here. Keep the scrolls. I don't know that we need Retrix's letter or the Initiate's note now that we're out of there. A letter home. We'll keep the mead because it actually has some pretty good side effects. Damage reduction, which is nice. This e-stock we're going to get rid of. Get rid of this as well. We'll keep the grain, maybe. Yeah, max endurance for, like, a while. That'll work. What is this thing? Fireball trap. I didn't even notice where we picked that up, but that's going to be cool. I'm thinking if we build a character, I might go with, like, a rogue that's, like, a lot of health and, Gaunt's share. I think we'll get rid of that. A lot of health and a lot of sneak, and just like fast attacks kind of thing. Poison dart trap. I wonder if we can't just use this as our secondary weapon. I don't see why not.
Good day, stranger.
Alright, so now we can open this up and sell a bunch of stuff. Look at that. That's a ton. I don't know. Maybe it goes pretty quickly. That fine e-stuck. Alright. Now, let's talk to her about hiring some help, shall we? I could use some reliable help. Do you know anyone looking for work? Oh, well, I wouldn't say I can speak from experience. We do have certain sorts coming by to look for work from time to time. If you want to hire someone on, I'd be happy to send them your way. Let me see what I have to work with. So we get a level 1 or a level 2? We have the money. Let's go level 2. And now we just build them. That's cool. Let's bring out a female. We will go with... Basically, we want dexterity. We want might. And yeah, we're not going to get both of those, that's for sure. Maybe just grab the might plus 2. Give us a nice little bonus. Towering physique, costal, I'm going to gain bonuses to defend against prone and stun effects. That's nice. Arm to the teeth. All island Amuana gain additional weapon set. I don't think that's as good. Definitely go coastal. I think we want to go rogue here. Sneak attack applies bonus damage to rogues ranged and melee weapons following... weapon attacks when the target has any of the following afflictions. Blinded, flanked, hobbled, paralyzed. That's a lot of things. Also applies to any target the rogue strikes with a weapon within the first 2 seconds of combat. Yes, that sounds pretty good. Although we don't really need the mechanics. That's the only thing. I don't suppose... I don't suppose we could take just stealth anywhere. I don't think so. Yeah, okay, we'll go with a rogue. It's just we don't... The mechanics part is kind of wasted on us. That's okay, we just won't build it out that much. So we get to pick our first ability. Target is hobbled for 10 seconds. And Blinding Strike. It's blinded for 10 seconds. This we can use 2 per encounter, so I'm actually going to go ahead and grab that. Now, the dexterity and the might are what we really need, so we can even drop some of the others, I think. I want to be, like, as strong as I can, as fast as I can, and then the rest we can kind of balance out. Intellect's good, perception is good, but we already kind of have that built in, that's the thing. Maybe we should bring these just up to 0. Like these net losses, same with the resolve. Or... we could put that into Constitution to make her quite a bit stronger. Let's drop one of these and let's go Constitution just for the health. So really strong, really lots of endurance and health, and then dexterity, just boom, 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 attack speed. That's what we want. That's what we want. Dexterity again, probably. Yeah, let's go ahead with the Deadfire Archipelago. And then... I guess a laborer would make sense. Get some athletics in there so she doesn't get... Yeah. Athletics and mechanics, I guess. I'm actually cool with the skin how it is. Maybe we can change it up just a bit. Yeah, I like that. Really, we got all sorts of stuff going on. That's kind of cool. That's cooler. And, yeah, that works pretty nicely, I think. That color makes more sense.
Eh?
Leading the way.
A blade in the dark.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got this.
Bring them down.
Yes.
I like Blade in the Dark, the
Now
sinister voice.
I am
What
leader
about
of the
Mystic?
group.
Silence surrounds me.
Ooh, that sounds very, very roguey.
I shall lead us.
Let's stick with that one. Now, her name, this is very important. She might be with us for a while. Let's call her Doom. So now we have Gloom and Doom. I'm happy about it. Okay, awesome.
Oh?
Now, we do get to level her up right away, which is a real bonus. Mechanics is higher than I need it to be, but that's okay. We probably want her stealth higher, maybe some athletics. A higher mechanics skill, the more accurate the trap. Not so concerned about scrolls. Plus 20 to max fatigue. I think that's better off. Okay, and then we have one more. We could pick Backstab. That's what we want, I think. It's just a passive. Dramatically increases damage jump from stealth or invisibility. The rogue may use melee or ranged weapons, but must be within 2 meters. Allows the healing of a modest amount of health on the user. 1 per rest. Oh, that's per rest. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab backstab. Alright, so she's already got a little bit of health. Not the greatest, but to be fair, she doesn't really have the greatest armor either. She's got medium armor. So we may want to talk to her and
Hail,
see what she
traveler.
has. So can we sort this? Yeah, a little bit, I guess. This is probably all the stuff we just sold her. Yeah, none of it's that great either.
I shall.
Alright, let's get out of here. We now have a rogue. Not as much health as I'd hoped, but I guess maybe it's because she's under-leveled a little bit. It's her endurance that's low. Her overall health is actually not bad. But it's not great. So we could go back to the... we could go back to Trumbull, which I think we'll do. Tenfrith, much like the rest of the town, Gilded Vale's inn's been better days. It doesn't get much business, but the inn's master chef usually draws in a small but steady amount of visitors. That is, until his recent disappearance during a routine trip north for supplies. The innkeeper suggested he might come to harm on the road through the Valewood and is seeking aid in seeing the chef safely returned. Yeah, okay, so maybe back in Valewood.
Greetings.
You're back. Have you had any luck with Swainer? Well, I did talk to him. And what did he say? I convinced him to leave your family in peace. Oh, really? That's great news. I wasn't sure you'd get through to him. They're out of their minds with drink half the time. I owe you a great debt. Here. Today's earnings to show my appreciation. And you can be sure I'll let everyone know what you've done for me. Glad to help. I'm not going to turn it down. Now we stand a chance of getting through the year. All thanks to you. Safe travels, friend. Well, we'll see how that goes. Might bite us in the ass later. Okay, so why don't we have to head north. Let's do that. I love when we have that little hound, and he's very small. He's like a puppy. I got the vibe that she was going to be very old. Nothing here. Oh, you know what it could be? There was the guy with the bear. I wonder if he... I wonder if he was attacked by the bear or something. Oh, he's just coming right at us. Uh-oh. Okay, how hard is this going to be? Probably very. Let's use whatever we can. Jeez. I'm worried to see how much damage it's going to do when it actually hits us. It's almost half health already. We're actually handling it pretty well. Better than I was hoping we would. This is like, I'm pretty happy actually. Oh, there it is. Now, I bet you this is him. Mice crawl through the eye sockets and over femurs. Lost spirit. A figure drifts, suspended in the musty air of the cavern. You reach out a hand for the spirit. In the moment of contact, you feel as if you've been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edges of your vision. You feel the sun at your back and the weight of the bow of a bow in your hand. You know suddenly that you've come a long way from the Vale hunting deer. Now you are standing before a cavern and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at its heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There is a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel and there is a sudden, terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain. But in a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. And then there it is, a great dark shape above you. And then there is more pain. The vision recedes and you're thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet and the specter lingers. In the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, of confusion, of anger. Well, I did meet your friend on the road. Sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seems to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. I can find him and see that he answers for what he's done to you. For a moment, the spirit seems to burn bright and your head fills with a sticky triumph, or sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with the force of its own exaltation, growing fainter and fainter until you are alone once more. Confront Nonton. He's the one who said, "Oh, there's a bear in there." Actually, you know what? Let's just check and see if there's anything else in here. Doesn't look like it. Took down that bear pretty fast, although when we were here the first time, we were totally on our own. Now, where was Nonton? Oh, right, there was this area where we tried to climb before. Given the right tools, we might reach the top. I don't know what kind of tools those would be. But that caused us a lot of fatigue last time, I believe. And that seems the only way to get up there. But I do remember there was this camp here now, and we could probably fight these guys without too much worry.
To whispers and shadows.
Hold on.
Hope you're not expecting much then.
I'm hoping we can just talk. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up, startled as he sees you approach. Oh, this is Tenfrith! Awesome. Drops his ladle, splattering stew across the ground. What? Get him, you dogs, and make sure our new cook don't run off. Oh, he's trapped here. Oh, please help me. Okay, okay. So which one is him? That's Tenfrith. Got it. Alright, we're gonna throw on the defender now, for sure.
How may I help?
Let's go ahead and see if they clump up. And they do. Just make sure everybody's hitting something. Let's just all attack him now. Okay, beautiful. Whoa, they had a lot of stuff. Couple of daggers. Some medium armor. Alright, let's actually give the daggers to her. It's an average speed. I'm thinking we just go just daggers. Just fast, fast, fast. Okay, we've got a rod here. Rice, meat.
How do you do?
By the flame, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life, or until they were bored with me, I suppose. Did Pasca send you? She must be beside herself. I must get back at once, but listen, the next time you're in Gilded Vale, make sure you drop by the Black Hound. I'll let her know what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Oh, to be back in my oven again. Awesome. That worked out really well. I really want to get up here. That's what I really would like. But I don't have a way of scaling this wall just yet, I don't think. I mean, we could try with, like... Let's try with him. Yeah, see, we have actually multiple people now to climb up. Let's see, who would be best suited for this? I'm guessing maybe dexterity. Or it could be athletics. Let's see. Traveling, fighting, scrambling up fallen statues can take its toll. Counters the effects of accrued fatigue, allowing characters to go further and fight longer before they suffer penalties. I mean, Edder's pretty good. I'm gonna see if the dexterity works out. And if that doesn't, then we'll try Edder. Let's go, Doom. Doom finds a handhold upon, but the uneven footing makes the climb difficult. And she's back down. Okay. Who will scale it? Let's ask Edder to climb it. Oh, he makes swift progress and quickly arrives at the top of the wall. So it is athletics. So it does more than just reduce the fatigue. Once there, Edder helps you up and over the side. Beautiful. And what do we have here? Nice. We've got some extra supplies. Leather armor. Fulvanov's gloves of reflex. And a scrawled letter. I do not think you will ever see this, but you were right, Fulvano. We should have journeyed south together and been safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if I might live to hear it. I've put myself out of reach of the beast circling below, but I am done for all the same. I do not think I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I shall be a trapper of wolves. He died up here just to avoid the like, enemies. That's crazy. So I don't think that camping supplies are actually stored anywhere except for just there. I guess we have to get back down. There we go, we made it. Okay, so let's head here. Go back to the Gilded Vale. And now we'll see what she has to say at the inn. Let's see what else there is. Oh, there's Nonton. Oh, you know what? I forgot about him. Makes sense that we just go back. We just have to find him. I remember him being close to the bear, but I didn't.
Party before venturing forth.
But I didn't see him this go around. Oh, what about? Hold on. What if he's hiding in here? Oh. My dear Nonton, please be safe. Know that whatever happens, I love you still. Okay. That would have been actually really hilarious if he was hiding in there. I don't suppose he was on the other side. Like, we've been everywhere in here. Very weird. I mean, we could check up here and head out one of these directions. That takes us back to here, and I don't think he was there. Perhaps we'll just run into him somewhere. Like, maybe he's in the inn, or he's around the city somehow, like...
Perhaps
I have no idea.
Rest is in order.
Oh, are you tired? Yeah, he's a bit tired. Fair enough. I can't believe we still have these resting bonuses. They last forever. Not that I'm complaining.
Greetings.
Hello, welcome to the... Oh, it's you! Tenforth told us what you did for him. Such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounts on drinks, rooms. Tenforth said he just wanted to whip something up nice for you. He's already back to work in the kitchen. So what would you like? Well, I suppose we could take a room. Certainly, you're always welcome. Let's just take a common room this time. That is a pretty big discount. That way we'll get rid of the fatigue. And do we see Nonton anywhere? Not in here, but who knows? Let's go see how Tenforth is doing. Ah, it's you, my savior. It's so good to be back. Do not think I'll let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you'll eat nothing else. A savory pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. Okay. So what does that mean exactly? Is that like a, yeah, okay, this is where we do crafting. Pearlwood chicken. Duck's own meatloaf. Stew, savory pie. Must be. We don't have beer to put in it, which would make sense. There's a lot of this stuff that we could be doing. Plus 10 max endurance, plus 2 might for 300 seconds. Okay, we can get into that. Tell you what, we'll take a bit of a break. We got a lot accomplished here, actually. The one thing I don't know about is where he is. I don't know where Nonton is. Hamstrung as he attempted to escape the bear. What reasons Nonton had for this are unclear. He lives in the nearby town of Gilded Vale. So he lives in here. What? Well, let's just go and find him then. Blackhammer Smithery, Ingrid's house, the windmill. I mean, Could it be this house by chance? Oh, it could be. Oh, nope. I think we've already talked to these ones. Maybe not. I don't think so. You see a crowded marketplace, vendor stalls lining the road, their proprietors' voices calling out to passerby to come sample their wares. This woman wanders through the throng, strolling hand in hand with another woman. They peruse the vendor's goods, tarrying at a book merchant with a number of old and beautiful tomes, chatting with one another about what they see. One will pick up a book and show it to the other, who will take it, comment on it, and place it back on the shelf. Then the first will snatch up the book again and quickly pay the merchant before the other can snatch it back. They walk away from the market weighed down by packs filled with books, still hand in hand, standing close, comfortable, and familiar with each other. As they pass down a somewhat deserted street, an object suddenly hits the woman in the chest and bounces off, rolling away towards one of the buildings. The women stop and look at the object, it's an apple, and then back up at the person who threw it. There is nothing special about him aside from the angry look on his face and the two other apples he holds. Before either woman can move, the man draws back and throws another one at them, this time hitting the second woman in the forehead. He yells at them something derisive and hateful, something about a legacy and about responsibilities. The woman raises her hand to her head and wipes the juice and bits of fruit from her face and stares the man down defiantly. The first woman squeezes her hand and puts the other on her companion's shoulder, attempting to calm her down. The other woman pulls a book from her pack and holds it before her, muttering under her breath. She pulls her hand free and waves it above the book, an aura forming around her. The man, uncaring for the events happening in front of him, draws back. Oh, hold on. The first woman is still trying to calm her down, but all she says goes unheard. The man, uncaring of the events happening in front of him, draws back and throws the last apple. As it arcs through the air toward them, the second woman brings up her hand and points at the table. A glowing orb of energy flies from her hand and strikes the apple, causing it to explode, raining bits of apple down on the road and buildings around them. The man's face changes, anger joined by fear. Looks like he's trying to decide if running or attacking is the better course of action. The second woman has started chanting again, her hand glowing, her eyes narrowing. This woman steps in front of her, placing herself between her love and their attacker. She touches her face, gently stroking it while whispering calming words, a kiss. The woman's countenance changes. She calms, her eyes softening, her lips regaining the lost smile. The first woman smiles again as well and kisses the other. Wizard scum, the man behind them says, and the two women turn to face him, staring him down defiantly. They join hands and begin walking again, moving past him without so much as a sideways glance. Interesting. You see a key turn gently steady and hear a ghostly click as the door swings inward. Two figures slip in, locking the door behind them, and begin their prowl. Their hunt is efficient, and it takes them little time to acquire a sizable collection of documents, oddly shaped velvet pouches. Quick hands fill pockets, rucksacks, and bags. The door opens downstairs and everything freezes. Footsteps, a tired giggle. The thieves are all eye whites and short breath as they empty their pockets of all but the necessities. Anything noisy, hurriedly replaced. Silence from downstairs, then tentative steps up the staircase. A voice calls out. One thief creeps forward, the other gesticulating wildly for him to return. He continues forward, crouching by the banister. He sees a gaudy shoe and gloves, and shoves. The woman falls with a cut-off scream, rolling lifelessly to the floor below. Swearing, the second thief grabs her brother, and they make their escape, collecting whatever of value they can on their way out. These are really interesting to see this stuff. Like, I really enjoy that. Although we didn't find Nonton, so there is that aspect as well. Let's see, do we have any other houses? Perhaps this one? You see a pair of immaculately polished leather boots and an impeccably maintained goatee. Their owner, a slightly hook-nosed man with a wicked grin and narrow eyes. He bobs his feathered hat at a nearby merchant as he ambles by, a small piece of parchment held tight in his fist, ink staining his fair fingers. He seems to know most of the merchants in the market, stopping to engage some, nodding at others, and even bartering for minor goods with a select few, always smiling, laughing, and exchanging jibes. He approaches a heavyset Aumaua, Smile plastered stiff across his face and jokes about the weather. She jokes back, subtly palming him several gold coins. When he walks away, the paper in his hand is gone and the smile on his face far more genuine. He tips his cap at her, winking, and trundles off with a new spring in his step. You see a large crowd gathered in the middle of a courtyard. This man stands in the midst of them, a cloak pulled over his head, holding it closed around his neck. The crowd is congregated around a platform and they all watch, transfixed, as a man is led to the platform flanked by 2 city guardsmen. This isn't going to be good. The man is shackled hand and foot but carries himself as a nobleman, not deigning to even glance at the crowd. The cloaked man pulls his cover closer around his face and turns to leave, hunching over to avoid being seen. A crier on the platform unrolls a parchment and begins to read, but the man pays no attention, intent on getting away from the courtyard. The crier's voice grows louder and more intense as he reads, and voice from the crowd start to punctuate his sentences. The jeers and shouts grow more frequent, and with each one, the cloaked man flinches and his shoulders droop. He breaks from the crowd, coming to the edge of the courtyard as the crier reaches the end of the proclamation. The crowd grows silent again, save for the occasional shout. The man turns back to look at the platform, seeing his father kneeling before the block, neck exposed. The executioner moves into position, lifting his axe to strike. The man turns suddenly, unable to watch. There's a wet thunk, and the crowd breaks into cheers and applause. He leans against the wall, regaining his composure, and straightens up. With obvious resolve, he strides off, away from the crowd and his legacy.
Alright then.
Okay, what other houses might we have here? We've got this one. Despite the rains, the Stocksfield is dry and stiff as locust husks. Okay, well that's not where it is either. This one doesn't have a door that we can see. Well, the good news is we're finding all of these people that we can watch. You see a group of people standing around a wagon transfixed on a sword as it swings in a large, graceful arc. The man holds the sword, passing it from hand to hand with a relaxed ease, making the blade dance in front of the audience. He tosses it into the air, spins, then puts his arm behind his back to catch it. The crowd claps excitedly and a couple of them gasp. Certainly they were about to see tragedy.
Huh? Mm-hmm.
You see a room, bright, warm, and covered in greenery. There isn't a spot in the entire space that doesn't have some kind of plant growing in it. Small germinating seeds in a corner here, large sprawling vines climbing the walls there. Although most of the plants are actually in some kind of container, there are a few that have grown from the dirt floor itself. They are just as lovingly cared for as anything else in the room. This man wanders through the plants, smiling at each and every one, an old pipe clenched between his teeth. Stopping next to one, he touches a leaf, lifting it up to look at the underside, then gently rubs it between his fingers. Takes a small handful of the soil it grows in and crushes it with his fingers. Satisfied, he drops the soil back into the pot and continues to the next plant. He hums a low, cheery tune as he moves among the plants, occasionally stopping to sing a few words of something to one of them. Finally, he reaches the door. Having visited every plant in the room, he turns back to look at them, a look of serene pleasure on his face. Then he turns back and is gone. Alright, so I guess we're back at the inn. I really don't know where he is, to be quite honest. We can take one more quick run through here. Have we been in here? Yeah, this is Offer's house. I don't suppose... No. I think we've already talked to these ones. I want to say that we have. I could be wrong. And by talked, I mean watched. I mean, it does say that he lives here. So... lives in the nearby town of Gilded Vale. Well, if he does, I don't know where he lives. Okay, well, tell you what, we'll take a bit of a break. When we come back, we will probably carry on. Although, hold on, maybe this is it. Ah, of course, last place that we checked.
Hail, traveler.
Look it, hope Gilded Vale's been kind to you, she says. Hey, Nonton, we know what really happened in that bear cave. His color drains from his face. I don't know what you mean, I told you the truth of it. Are you accusing him of something? If this is about the accident, we're both grieving Pearlie's loss, but it was a wild animal's doing. Why would, what would make you suggest such a thing? I had a vision in the cave. I'm gonna tell him. I saw Pearlie's last moments as he lived them. I saw you cut him with a knife. That's not possible. How could you possibly know? I left no sign. Nonton, wait. I don't know what you saw in that cave, but it isn't what you think. Pearlie, my husband, he was as much a beast as that bear. Oh, that was her husband. That's interesting. I tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. Nonton, we met, and I knew I'd found someone special, someone kind, someone who cared for me. Please, all we want to do is leave this place. These are the ones that were rushing earlier. Right. We've some coin saved up. You could have it if you'll let us go. Keep the money, use it to start your new life. That's kind of a tough one. We could go to the magistrate. I don't even want any part of these guys. They're scum. Keep the money. Use it to start your new life. Get out of here. Oh, thank you, truly. I'm glad you understand. Only here, take this. At least I hope it brings you luck. We have a long journey ahead of us. I wish you all well in your own travel, stranger. Won't forget this. I mean, it's actually good that we let them go because now they're out of here and other people don't have to be so worried about them. They gave us a minor ring of deflection. Okay, so we have 2 of these now. We could put them both on him since he'll be taking the brunt of the damage. All right, so now we'll take a break, and when we come back, all our tasks are done. We need to basically go to Merwold, I think, and Ked Nua. Merwold, Ked Nua, and Anslog's Compass. So if we check that out, Ked Nua is definitely the closest. Yeah, that's definitely where we're gonna go next. So, pretty cool. Seems like we're done here in the Gilded Vale for now. Unless we want to hire more companions, which we could. But I kind of want to see, like, how many we can get and who they are and all that kind of stuff before we actually hire them all. Because I don't want to run out and not be able to have any, you know? So, I've got to do some research on that. But thank you guys very much for watching. I'll certainly see you soon, and wish me luck. Take care. Also, we have a pet. Okay, bye.